and welcome to another Vlogmas video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all having a wonderful 11th of December. I think this is going up on the 11th of December. Today I'm going to be talking about the books that I am currently reading in December. I'm currently reading 5 books. I will start with the book that I don't have here, and that is the audiobook that I'm listening to. It's on my phone over there. Rich! And that is the audiobook of Christmas Days by Jeanette Winterson. I actually own this book, and I have owned it for, I think it came out in 2016, so I want to say 2 years, and I've never got further than the 3rd or 4th story, I think. It is a collection of short stories set around the Christmas period, interspersed with non-fiction bits of recipes and just little memories to go with that. The audiobook is done fantastically. The non-fiction bits are read by Jeanette herself and spoken about the ingredients, and she talks about, so for instance, she talks about Ruth Rendell's red cabbage and how she used to spend Christmases with Ruth Rendell and they used to make red cabbage, and she talks about her mother's mince pie recipe and things like that. That is narrated by Jeanette herself, which is fantastic, and then the rest of it's narrated by someone called Imogen someone, and she does the stories fantastically. There is a broad range of characters in these stories, rating from American teenagers to British, to sort of like northern British workers and things like that. I have been loving it. Guys, I think it's a contender for a 5-star. I'm really, really pleased I listened to the audiobook of it, because I think if I'd have gone round to the book again, I maybe wouldn't have got as far with it again. But I am absolutely loving it. I'm trying to listen to a short story or a little bit every day, so it should lead me all the way up till Christmas Eve, which will be fantastic. But yeah, really, really loving it. Really, really excited and enjoying it, and looking forward to getting back to it. I actually look forward to it. Like, it's one of those books where it reminds me of when I was listening to Lethal White, because I was just so excited to finish work and get home, get in the car and listen to it on the way home. One of the stories I listened to was really creepy, and I had to be a very brave girl that day. The rest of the books that I've got are the books here. I'm actually currently reading 2 short story collections. The first one is Round About the Christmas Tree, which is a miscellany of festive stories, which is edited by Becky Brown. This is a Macmillan Library edition, I think it's called Macmillan Collector's Library edition. My phone's going off. It's got short stories in there, some such as, these are the ones I've read so far, Round About the Christmas Tree by Thackeray, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle by Arthur Conan Doyle. I've never read an Arthur Conan Doyle story before, so I was very, very excited to read that, and I really, really enjoyed it. The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen, sad, and I'm in the middle of Christmas Eve by Washington Irving, which, to be fair, is probably the worst one I've read in here so far, so it's a bit of a slog for me. However, I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 3.5 or so, 7 pages of that left, so not too much more, but enjoying it nevertheless. The next short story, like, this very rarely happens, that, and I do like doing these currently reading ones, because I like talking about the books that I'm really, really loving, and then seeing if they do end up being a 5 stars, because this short story collection I'm currently reading, I think it's going to be a 5 star, so I think that's 2 5-star Christmas books, which very rarely happens. But this is a YA or a middle grade collection of children's short stories called Winter Magic, and this is curated by Abby Elphinstone. I am on the penultimate story, which is called The Writing Book. It also had a lovely poem in there as well. I've just loved all of these. They've really brought me back to, like, reading when I was a child and just getting really immersed in a story. And it reminded me of when I was younger and I used to go on holiday with my parents. I used to take, I think I could take 12 books on holiday with me, and I used to book out all 12 books, and then by the end of the holiday I'd got to the end of the 12 books, so I would start reading my dad's books. But I just remember sort of like taking these books and getting so into them, and that's how I've been feeling when I've been reading these beautiful, beautiful stories. There's a whole host of stories here. There's one about the Nutcracker, the girl getting the part in the ballet of the Nutcracker. There's one, at the moment I'm reading one called The Wishing Book, which is about a young girl whose father is remarried, and she has a grandmother on her father's side who's this really eccentric, amazing character who doesn't talk, and she doesn't care about personal hygiene. Shut up, phone! She doesn't care about personal hygiene, things like that. And then she's got this really prim and proper step grandmother who's got loads of money and is very looks at things in a very shallow way. And yeah, they're just really, really like cutesy stories. One of my other favourites was about a girl who broke her leg on a skiing trip, and she was delighted because she just got to spend her time in the story was actually called The Room with the Mountain View. She got to spend her time in a room with a mountain view just reading, and then she sort of looks out of her window and oversees something that happens in another hotel window, and she looks into it. It really reminded me of when I used to read Nancy Drew. I am loving these short stories. I'll be sad when they're over. I'm going to turn my phone off now because it keeps beeping. Quietened it down now. So yeah, really loving this, and I've got every hope that this is going to be 5 stars, which is really rare for a short story collection as well, because quite often you'll find like a couple of duds in there, but the whole experience of reading it has just been so much fun. My sister would love this book, and when I've finished it, which hopefully will be, I don't think it'll be tonight, but it could be tomorrow, I'm going to lend it to her because she will really enjoy that. Obviously once I've wrapped it up. And then the last 2 books that I'm reading, I'm part way through, and I mean this one I'm only part way through. She's read the introduction, which means that I'm only on page 1 of the actual book, and that is the Faber Book of Christmas, in conjunction with Liberty London. They have done this beautiful naked hardback with this Liberty print on it, absolutely gorgeous. And this is a sort of non-fiction collection, and it's got stories in it. It's just a collection of Christmas writings, and I picked it up and read the introduction, I think maybe because I wanted to read a bit of non-fiction, but I actually I feel like this might be a little bit wordy for me, so I'm going to go to my midwinter collection, which is a book that I mentioned in my December TBR, and see if I can get a little bit more out of it, because I think maybe that's going to be more for me than this, and I think they're going to be quite similar. So yeah, probably we'll put this down for the time being and pick up the other one, but beautiful, and like perfectly enjoyed the introduction, but just feel like the other one's going to be a bit more for me. And then the last one is a children's book that David and I started doing together. You may well have seen it in my week 1 vlog. So during Vlogmas, I vlog every day and then put the vlog up on a Sunday. And during the week 2 vlog, sorry, David and I sat down on the sofa and did this together, Search and Find a Christmas Carol. And it's a retelling of the Christmas Carol. This is how far we've got. We've got to the Ghost of Christmas Present, and it gives you a little bit of information at the side about, so it doesn't really retell the story, it just tells you like what happened, and then it gives you a list of 10 things to find in those pictures. And Dave and I had a great giggle, because as I was reading these bits, he was looking for all of these items, and then when I was saying a surprise Scrooge, he was able to find them really quickly. So what I might, essentially, people might call cheating, because it wasn't giving me a chance to read that either, which is a bit of a shame, but really fun and enjoyable. And may even well finish this off tonight, if not with David, maybe just by myself, so I get a bit of a chance to play it by myself. I love things like this. I used to love Where's Wally when I was younger, and I really enjoy things like this. So yes, those are the books that I'm currently reading in the month of December. Let's get them all together so I can show you. Yeah, so 2 short story collections, a picture book, non-fiction, 3 short story collections if you include my Jeanette Winterson one. Really enjoying all my December reading. Love December reading, and still at the point of filming this, which is on the 9th of December, I still have read a book a day. So whether that be a little short story, little poetry collection, or a picture book or something like that, I still have read a book a day. So I'm really thrilled with myself, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as I can. I need to read a book today, so maybe I'll finish this and that'll be my book for today. But yeah, really enjoying my December reading. Hope you are too. Let me know what you're reading at the moment. Let me know if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned, and I will see you all again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Goodbye!